Well, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon, family. Haven't been to this site in 3 weeks. Well, I've been here, but I just cleaned it up. The weather really withstood the weather. Got my new pack. Love it. I just threw a bunch of stuff in there. Got to go through it. Got my LBE, still the same old stuff. What I did is find a stick. So this was off my trap. I'm gonna repurpose it and use it for a different trap because I haven't. Well, to be honest with you, I tried the more advanced traps before I could actually do the simple ones, so we're gonna try a simple one. I gotta get some hangers over here, but actually I think I got a couple over there. Anyhow, let me get settled here. Sometimes I feel like the Mr. Robinson's neighborhood, or Mr. Rogers, however you want to take it. Anyway, it's a hot one today. I am obviously Sergeant OCD. I make these videos for my family and friends. I call it bushwhacking. It's a little bit of bushcrafting because I'm learning a little bit of off the grid hiking and foraging, and just a little bit of what I know, what I can bring. There's a lot of people that watch these videos, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised that there is a bunch of people that, you know, they're haters. You know, they don't like some things. Oh, you said an Indian shot this arrow in here. That's a Corporal Kelly's voice. But you know, and this guy, he really, I started watching him for foraging and trying to find, you know, wild lettuce and trying to help my wife's pain. And I came across this guy from backwoods of Mississippi. Hey, look, I talked about him last week. I said he was smart because he knew how to get the extract out of the wild lettuce. I've seen other videos, and you know, he's smart in that aspect. But one of the things he's doing is he's attacking the survivalists. It's like, where are you going? I'm going away from this dangerous place is where I'm going. I'm going to stand my ground, he says. I said, well, you know, my rebuttal to that is I'm going to stand my ground too. But when there's militias and groups of people just going house to house, killing everybody and taking all their stuff, guess who's not going to stay, okay? So I guess he's going to die on his land, but the problem I have with it is he badmouthed Corporal Kelly. One, you shouldn't talk ill of people, and I'm going to look that up here in the Bible shortly. You know, plus you should respect the military, former members and former members. Okay, Corporal Kelly, he was a Marine. He was probably a Marine for 4 years. Okay, but a Marine is a Marine. They eat crowns and they're Marines. They're gung-ho about being Marines. Now, I just said something about that Marine. I tell every Marine that they eat crowns because they are known, they even know that they're known as crayon eaters. Yeah, I've picked up a little bit of an accent since I've got here, and I can't say some words now. 20 years ago, 20 some years ago. But my point is, look, it's disrespectful to talk about anybody, and whatever happened. I mean, he made a comment in a way Corporal Kelly fixed a fish, okay, and Corporal Kelly fired back with an answer, and you know, he got all mad about it, and I'm like, all right, whatever. But always be kind, always show the love. I'm gonna actually do this in front of you so you guys know how to do this. It's just like this microphone. Bible verse about speaking ill of people. And look at that, it comes right up. So it's James 4:11 through 12. All right, be quiet now. So, go to James 11. New Testament, so it's going to be further in the back. There's Luke, it's after Luke. Get to know your Bible. After Acts. James. That was James 4:11 and 12. Now this is an NIV. I don't really read this version much, but it's easy for people to understand. Anyway, 4:11. Brothers, do not slander one another. Anyone who speaks against his brother or judges him speaks against the law and judges it. When you judge the law, you are not keeping it, but sitting in judgment on it. There's only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and destroy. But you who are you to judge your neighbor? Okay, obviously there's one judge, it's God. So I lost all respect for the guy because, yeah, I mean, you can pick on military people and they can take it, you know. They call me chair force. You know, we call Army grunts. We call Marines crayon eaters. We call Navy seamen. I mean, or Popeye. We military members have that respect for each other that we don't mean it derogatory. It's just joking around, and every military member knows that. So please do not speak ill of people. You know, God's commandment is to love everyone as He loves you. And that's what everybody should be doing. They should treat everybody with love. And that's Jesus' love. It's a brotherly love. So I'm going to get to start, I'm going to find my nails, put some nails in there, hammer some nails in there. I only have my pack and my LBE, and my pack's got mostly like, you know, tarps and stuff in it now. But we'll go through that once I fix it. But everything fits in there. So I'm going to put some nails in here, and what we're going for is what you call a windlass trap. Basically, this is on a trigger. This has got nails on it. The critter comes up, pushes my stick out of the way. Yeah, because it's going to hook up here. Tries to get around. Anyway, I didn't even think about that. Anyway, it's going to, it's over here. It is a stick here, and there's nails up here, and it's going to come around and go whack right into the guy's, the animal's brain. So that may or may not work, but we're gonna try that now. Like I said, I need more practice with tying up, you know, tying two sticks together, either a crossway or a block. I just need more practice. I need more ground time. So like I said at the beginning of all this, we're going to learn all this stuff together. I'm going to learn it, do it, and then I know you can be able to do it. Because I have faith in all my family and friends. They might not watch these videos at all, or if they do, they might be when I'm dead. But they're going to see what passion I have right now for people to survive. And that's what it's all about. It's to survive. So I'm going to get set up and I'll move the camera over there and take care of that. One thing I did find out about this camera, yeah, the filter does work that I put on there, but it doesn't work when you're moving. So I might have to adjust the ASA or ISO, whatever it is, to set it up for that, because most of the footage I did last week I had to trash because it was all moving around and it was shaking, and it was getting me sick looking at it. So I'm gonna have to look at that setting on my camera. But anyway, I'll meet you. What I did is I took some nails that I found, and you might want to keep some in your pack, and I hammered them through, and my wood started to split, so I laced it up, okay, with just the extra cord that I had from each side. And then the other thing I did, I put a notch in here so it the cord holds it in, the cordage holds it in, but I put another one here because I couldn't remember which one that they actually needed, because when this thing is wound up in there, you want the cord to stay in here, so when it quickly spins around, it's not going to come out, and then the animal's going to go with the nail in his head, and then you'll lose your nail. So that's kind of a catch. I need to work on the trigger stick, but I want to get this thing in. Now keep in mind, when you're doing this and you have that thing armed and tight and ready to go, don't get your hand in the way, and that nail will go right through your hand, okay? And you want to stop that. Anyway, one of the things that I was looking at when I got back here, obviously my tarp on the ground was wet, so because we got some really bad rains. That arrow you saw earlier was through one of my tarps because I missed the target and shot my tarp. But I'm airing out my bedroll, my wool blanket. All that's going to go into the pack. But I was kind of looking at this knife, which was my father's knife, and I've been trying to clean it up a little bit, and I cleaned up to the name, and it said Western on it. So then I got further and it said Western 640. Well, this is brown here. It's an old knife. The brown here is actually leather, I found out. That's brass. Obviously that's aluminum, but if you look, the tang goes all the way to here. So I didn't think it was a full tang. So they only made them in 66, 67. So this knife is as old as I am, and the sheath, great condition. So anybody wants to buy this, they can't, because I won't sell it to anybody. One of them just went for like $85, $89. One of them went for $115. This is another knife. This is the one I grew up with. Looked again on it and it said Bear MGC. Now that brand still makes knives, but they only make folding knives, I think. I didn't see any full tang knives, because it says Bear MGC folding knives, and they specify it's folding knives. So anyway, good finds. I've been using this one for a while. I had no idea. I thought all my knives were made in China or Taiwan or whatever, but back when my parents bought me this knife and my dad had this knife, I believe my mom bought that one at the same time. She probably bought it at Woolworths, and that's what Woolworths was carrying. So It's a good find. We're well on our way for this trap to work. I have the utmost confidence in me. All right, family. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this off, and we're going to put a string around that, but we're gonna have to probably dig down a little bit here, bury this stick, cut it down, bury this stick in between here, because if not, these sticks will fall together and it'll loosen the windlass trap. We'll see. Hey, I'm not done with that style of trap. I'm just, you know, I'm learning. Just like with gear. So you see that pack that I just got? It ran me $65, and it's a medium-sized Alice pack. So the Alice pack with the frame is $130, and I really didn't want to spend that much money, so I didn't get it. Later down the road, will I get it? I don't know. You know, I'm not that concerned. So what I have in there is I have a green tarp, they call it emergency blanket, that's silver on one side. I have a hammock, and I have a couple other things, but I only bought, like, you know, a couple different tarps. I bought a tarp that has loops on the top, on the center part of it, so that you could set up a tent real easy with that. I bought a hammock, and that tarp will go over that hammock. And I bought that other bedroll, or the other emergency blanket. I did get a couple of kind of waterproofing things, and I got a single wall 25-liter container with a nesting cup and a little clip to take it out of the fire. So I'll be showing you guys that. But I didn't get that much stuff because it's expensive. You know, I had a little extra money, so I spent it. But anyway, so I don't think this is going to be enough. No, it's not. Anyway, so this thing I'm going to have to chop down to about there. So I'm going to saw a little bit off of there, and I'll be right. So I missed 3 weeks out here bushcrafting, not because of sickness or anything. It was just because I had to work, and that's what paid for my new gear. But I had to work project, and I had to work all the overtime, so it is what it is, you know. But I got some extra money, got some appliances we needed, small ones, yeah, just things we needed. My wife's doing better. I got her birthday present that she wanted. Anyway, so here's what we do. Basically, we're gonna make, I hate these knots that they tie on these. I can't do it. My knots need to be, I need to trust them. All right, so I'm gonna go up here. You know what I should do? I should put a notch in there. So just like I notched over here, I should put a notch up here. Let's see how I am left-handed with this thing. Take off the finger off. So I'm gonna put a notch just in there to hold the starting. Come on. Okay. Get us all one of the best things. So anyway, put this into my little notch. I'll start, get into that little notch. So you see how these are pulling together, but they're not going anywhere because I put that stick in there. I had never thought of that on my own. That's why, you know, we watch these bushcrafters, right or wrong, you need to just listen to them. And once you watch a few of them, see how loose that is? You want it that loose. Once you start watching them, you'll get to understand the terminology and the way some of them do things this way and that way, and others do it that way. You know, the whole key of this is survival and knowing how to do these little tricks so we can survive. That's what it's about. If somebody is cleaning a fish the wrong way, it is not up to you to be their judge and jury. You know? So, you know, you can always go back to James 119. Be slow to speak, slow to anger, and quick to listen. So, alright, we got that going for us. So it's very windy right now. So I'm going to wind this up long way. So I might need to go, see, I'll have to go into that one. I'm going to have to see how this works. No, it's not going to work. And, oh yeah. So it's getting tight. I'm going to have to fix that. String from the start. So anyway, it's going to storm later. I'd like to get this one and the other one set up because there's 2 areas of breach. See what I mean about it? It's snapping. Come snapping back. So let's just say you're a dumb groundhog. I'll take my finger off. So I'm gonna have to dig that down a little bit more because it's hitting it. But that's the concept. I'm gonna work on this and work on a trigger for it. This is probably the second hardest trap to make, but I already had this area staked out to kind of force the animal to go this way. Now, the nails are sharp, believe me. I got nailed. But just to show you how powerful this thing is, I even got the trigger on the wrong side. The trigger's supposed to be back here. So anyway, all I did is take a log, saw some here, saw some there, split it in half, and that's what you see, the split. That's all it is. So, that maybe should be how I leave it, but so you see how serious that is. I'm gonna have to unwind it a little bit. I moved it over a little bit and it turned the whole stick. Is what happened. Pretty powerful, brutal trap. I can't wind this yet. So how you set it is, try to move over a little bit. So kind of hammer that in there as much as you can. Make sure that kind of lines up. Now I could trim some off of here, like if I wanted to get it to hold less, and I may just do that. I mean, I could just leave a little, like 1/8 of an inch if I wanted to. I'm just trying this out, but I'm happy about the success of it, because, ooh, I'm turning it. Too messed up. Let me fix this thing now. I broke it. And I'll be back with the final product. Alright, I'm back. So, I tightened this way too tight. And basically pushed my stick out of the way. That's straight here. So I'm going to have to watch what I'm doing there. So we want to hammer this thing in just a little bit. Now we can get this thing going. Yeah, that's probably, I think when I did it here it was a little too tight. So I got to do this one. Oops. So maybe I'm going to try it without hammering it into the ground. Oh, I didn't use those. It's a little bit more sensitive. That was pretty cool. So, maybe that little bit. No. It doesn't help that I got a crooked stick. No, that's not putting the right pressure, right angle. Yeah, I've got to have that hammered in. Let me work on this thing. Pretty cool though. That's the way it's supposed to sit. Just like that. This is what you want. But it's either this way for the animal to do this to make it give. Still not right. Or you could turn it around and do it the other way. I'm going to try the other way, but I need to get it closer. Trigger comes around, that gets released, and that goes, that stick needs to break away. Maybe not that much. Not that much. So when it's pushed, it will not. That's max. I might have to make it a stick. Alright. That's it set. So I'm gonna close this up like I normally do and see what Mr. Chucky wants to say about this. Anyway. This is a good find. I found this in my toolbox, which was in my dad's, not my toolbox. I must have transferred it from my dad's electronic box, because I saw it in there as late as the 70s. So it's over 50 years old, like me. Just had my birthday, so I'm a double nickel now. But I'm gonna get inside. One, I need to hydrate. I didn't bring any water with me, so you know I've been out here 2-3 hours and I could pass out. Of course I have some water right here, just remembered. Yeah, I think that pack's gonna work for me. It's small enough, it'll carry everything. I'm looking to, if I have to bug out, I'm looking to set up a hammock somewhere, set up a little canopy over the hammock so, you know, I don't get rained on. I believe mine has a bug net, but I'm going to reveal all that stuff, you know, week by week. Plus I got another tarp in case, you know, I want to extend that like over a fire. It's reflective, so it'll put the fire right on me. There's so many cool things I can do with this little setup I have. And then of course I got my poncho liner with my current poncho. It'll attach together and I can actually use that as a sleeping bag or a blanket, but more importantly in my hammock sleeping bag. I don't need anything else, so I can I've been waiting to buy some of this stuff because I just couldn't afford it, and I knew exactly what I wanted. So anyway, God bless you, have a great week. Always train and just love others. God bless you.